What up, noobs? Your boy Noob. This video is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna be reacting to what the Fine Bros announced on YouTube. I think last week or either earlier this week, depending on what time you're watching this video. Pretty much the announcement was they wanted to introduce the YouTube word to the React word, meaning which is an idea they have where they actually trademark the React. If you're not familiar with the channel, they do this React segments where teens could react to a video game, elders could react to video games, kids could react to eating. So they have a whole bunch of series of reactions of reaction shows. So they actually ended up trademarking it, and so what they want to do is something called the React ward, where anybody that wants to do React have to go through them. They didn't trademark the actual word React. They trademarked the standard of React, meaning how it's actually set up, like with your camera facing you, reacting. What they want you to do is they don't charge you no upfront fee. You could actually they will supply you with their own graphic designer, their logos and all that stuff, and you can use that idea, that trademark. But the only catch is they make whatever profit you make, you have to split with them. So that's where everything went sour. The fact that they're trademarking this, something that is so big on YouTube. I mean, there's so many YouTubers that are doing React videos that have successful pages, successful channels on YouTube. So for them to actually corner this market, it's a little insane. So it definitely backfired on them. YouTube didn't take it well, so they went at this video.
Gentlemen, you gotta be kidding me! Oh, did he do it? Did he get it? Oh my God! From the trouble in paradise. Orton looks to take advantage. He does. Okay.
Here we go. Going downstairs.
I knew it.
And it's over.
They learned their lesson. So they also and I think the problem with what they did is how they announced it. They were very excited, like this is something that was supposed to be good for YouTube. I think they forgot they are not actually talking to. They thought they were talking to their YouTube audience, as in, usually the people that view their pages are usually kids, teens that like their materials. But they forgot they were actually talking to YouTube creators. And YouTube creators is an average guy sitting in his room with a freaking mic and a camera doing YouTube. That's the average YouTube guy. And when you start bringing up trademarks and copyright issues, they're not gonna like that, because that's what scares people away from YouTube. YouTube is a place where you could come and buy a camera and buy a microphone and be a YouTuber. There's no other step from becoming a YouTube. There's no loops to jump through like in Hollywood. So I mean, these Fine Bros, they forgot that they are so big now, so Hollywood, they forgot what YouTube used to be. Obviously the average YouTuber actually have enough problem with copyright issues and trademark issues on their pages, because YouTube itself doesn't really pay attention to lower ranked YouTube channels. And when I say lower rank, I'm talking about people, I'm not talking about 100 subscribers, I'm talking people with 60k 50k subscribers. If they find some kind of copyrighted or any flag on your videos, they easily will take it down in 2 seconds if you're not a big YouTuber. And this is, and it's pretty unfair, because, and how do I know this? Because it happened to me literally 2 days ago. And 50% of the time they're right, and 50% of the time they're wrong, depending on what side you fall in. If you're a top YouTuber, they're probably gonna review you before they even do anything. But if you're like on the bottom feed of the YouTube board, it's easier for them to flag your page and penalize your page than them actually reviewing your video. And they even tell you that they're probably making a mistake, because on the email they send you, they're saying, We are only humans. We are probably make a mistake. If you think this is a mistake, please appeal it right away. So they're literally letting you know that the likelihood of this being a mistake is pretty high. So you might want to appeal it. And obviously, it happened to me. It was a mistake. This day I broke some kind of guideline on my video, and obviously it was a big mistake. I appealed it, and they sent me an email apologizing. But the fact that they don't take time to actually check this out is a problem for people, for YouTubers. So for the Fine Bros to announce this trademark and the React, a big part of YouTube. YouTube is already enough rough place for it to actually have copyrighted materials for them to corner the market and force. They're not really forcing, but you know, inviting you to use their concept. Kind of rubbed a lot of YouTubers the wrong way, because they forget YouTube is black and white. They don't really care. As long as something is copyrighted and it's in your page, they don't care how much. If it's a little bit, if you got a right for it, they don't care. They just flag your video and they take it down. So that's where this went wrong, horribly wrong, and that's why the YouTube create community was furious about the video, about the announcement. They was not feeling that at all, and I personally wasn't feeling it as well, because if you really think about what they're doing is every major network have a nightly show. CBS, Fox, ABC, whatever, NBC, they have a nightly show. For example, nightly show with Jimmy Kimmel. Imagine if Jimmy Kimmel actually has the trademark to a nightly show, meaning anybody that ever want to do a nightly show on any other network actually have to go through him. Meaning, like, he will give him their logo, he will give him some resources to do their nightly show with the same setup, the way that he has it set up on his nightly show, but he get a piece of that pie as well. That's pretty much what the Fine Bros were presenting to YouTubers, and they were presenting it in a nice package way, which wasn't. And obviously, YouTubers were smart enough to figure out, like, no, they don't like that. They didn't like where this idea was going at all. So obviously, the Fine Bros are very, very, very popular channel. I mean, I watch them. I try to still subscribe to them. They have great materials on their page. But them to actually want to corner this market is really a monopoly. It's kind of remind me of what AT&T wanted to do a long time ago with T-Mobile. AT&T wanted to buy the T-Mobile, and the government shut that down because they would have had a huge monopoly in the mobile industry, and they would actually corner the market and actually force anybody that wants to pay any amount of money they want on a cell phone plan. I mean, it wasn't a good idea, so the government shut it down fast. That's pretty much the same way I felt about this situation, because there's thousands of YouTube channels that strictly does React, you know. And for them to really, really try to corner the market and try to make everything go through them, the Fine Bros React as the king of React, that's really, it's a very touchy subject there. And I know I see a lot of videos defending I guess some of his friends, big, obviously the Fine Bros are big, so they're gonna have big YouTube friends as well, defend them, saying people are ignorant, they don't know the difference between copyright and trademark. I don't think that's the issue in this situation. The biggest issue here is the freedom of YouTube gives you. An average person could wake up today and look at YouTube and go, I'm gonna become a YouTuber, and they'll be able to do it. But if you start introducing stuff like trademarks and copyrights, oh, you need to sign this paperwork if you want to do this React, then you open a big kind of worm where other people could trademark stuff like game walkthroughs. Like channels like mine are not able to do a game walkthrough unless we sign some kind of thing and follow some of the guideline of a bigger YouTuber. You know, it just is a very iffy gray area. And people could say that the React channel is probably an original idea that came from the Fine Bros. But when you think about it, it's not really necessarily an original idea. The reacting, it's not a big deal. It's not a big. It wasn't a miracle idea. I mean, VH1 have been doing this for a long time ago. And I don't know if you remember the show from VH1 called "I Love the '90s," "I Love the '80s," "Remember the '60s." That's pretty much celebrities sitting down and reacting to the old days of, old TV show, old music, old this. That's pretty much what the Fine Brothers are doing on YouTube. It's not a new idea. Imagine if VH1 actually had, trademarked that idea and forced them, the Fine Brothers, to pay them for every single, profit they were making. They get a piece of that and have to use VH1 logo on their videos and all this stuff. I mean, that's pretty much what they are trying to do, at least from my understanding, and nobody really was going for that. And obviously they backed down from this, so and I'm glad they backed down, because I don't think YouTube is ready for that big change. That feels a little bit too much Hollywood for me. I mean, YouTube is a place where you could pretty much be inspired by a video and start your own channel that mimic that kind of style, and that's what users on YouTube love. I want to be able to, there's no ropes to jump if you want to become a YouTuber. There's no rope to jump if you want to become a YouTube partner. There's no rope to jump if you want to become a game player on YouTube. There's there's nothing. There's no rope to jump. All you have to do is wake up and sign in and start doing YouTube. Now, if you start adding some paperwork into it, then you start scaring future creators, future guys that want to become YouTubers are gonna be scared by that paperwork, and it's gonna scare them away. And that's what really rubbed everybody the wrong way. So, I mean, that's pretty much where it ends. Hopefully, this is resolved. I know they took back the idea. They apologized. They released multiple videos trying to apologize about it. But hey, what is done is done. Now, that's the Noob. I hope you guys like it. Talk to your noobs later. Let me know what your thoughts about what happened, because I know how I feel about it. I want to know what you guys think as well. Yo. What is happening?